This criminal justice system, by virtue of its purpose, stole from me everything. What I might have been, who I would have been, would I have been a good husband, a good father? What would I have done in life? All that was taken from me. My name is Frank de Palma. I'll be 68 in just a couple of days. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. In 1974, what happened. I ended up in prison, only having to serve 2 years of a 10-year sentence. It just didn't work out, and I got caught up in insanity of prison.
I thought that Frank's story was unique. I thought in that he could have been the kid next door, and this could happen to anyone. And how could this happen in this country with our criminal justice system? How could an 18-year-old go in there for something minor and not get out until you're 62 years and throw in 22 years of solitary confinement? People just get thrown in there and sink or swim. And in many cases, that means live or die.
It's the worst thing we could do is take people on short sentences for any reason and turn them into violent people. To put them in a situation where violence is what you need to survive, it's very much like sending young people to war.
From 1992, I went into solitary, and I didn't come out until March 11th, Tuesday, March 11th, 2014. 22 years and 36 days.
We call people solitary survivors for a reason, because so many people don't survive it. This is not just a person who spent some time in solitary confinement. This is the person who possibly alive in Nevada has spent the most time.
That time that he did in that cell, there was no TV, there were no books, there were no newspapers, there were no diversions. The cell was meant to be his tomb.
There was no thought, there's no nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm gone from like 2006 or 2007 to 2012 or 2013. I don't remember nothing. I entered a void, my inner abyss, a place where emptiness became my peace and nothingness my only embrace. And that was it. I existed, yet I didn't. And I was good with that. I was good with that because it was all, no more suffering.
You think of a child being born, going to grade school, high school, college, graduating at 22. That's the length of time that Frank de Palma sat in a cell staring at a wall.
One of the first things that Frank told me when I met him was that he wanted to write a book. I've been safekeeping his handwritten pages for years.
I started to talk to Frank and learn. We started speaking on the phone, and I was trying to get a timeline over 40 years. Frank has a tremendous memory long-term. He could really paint pictures with words. I used his own writings and started, getting a structure, an outline of the whole story.
I decided to just tell the truth, just tell it. Now I got to give back in order to make it all count for something. I want the lawmakers, I want everybody, the most hardened hearts, to understand, look, you can hate us, but don't condone that type of punishment because it's not a punishment. It is a torture.
Prisons are hidden from the public as a whole. It is difficult to get inside one. You have to be very intentional if you want to see what's inside. But without things like Frank's book, that veil just remains there and you can go about your life without ever thinking twice about what's going on.
I've experienced what I describe as the depths of hell and despair on earth. So I think I've earned the right to aspire to complete, pure, unadulterated love, and connections and relationships. Because I believe it's the love that we take with us when we die. Everything good and everything else that doesn't matter. You know, dust in the wind. I should write a book.
It's a great read. It's a true story. There's heroism, there's hatred, there's treachery, there's love, there's hope, there is redemption, all told through the Nevada State Prison, Ely State Prison in Nevada, and the man who you follow from beginning to end. And I think he's a character worth getting to know and worth following.
Never to surrender. You know, somebody asked me, how come you never quit, Frank? How come you never just... I said, well, I don't know. That would be a question. There was times when I guess I did. But I guess in the end, it all boils down to the hope and promise of love, you know.